The iPhone 14 Pro Max's battery test is finally here, where it's going head-to-head against its biggest competitor in the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Taking a look at the spec sheets, the Galaxy has some clear advantages. It's got the way bigger battery at 5,000 mAh compared to the iPhone's even smaller than last year's 4,323 mAh. And while the iPhone 14 Pro Max's new display can technically ramp itself down to a refresh rate as low as 1 Hz, unlike the Galaxy, this seems to only apply to its always-on display mode, with regular use still limited to a minimum of 10 Hz. Of course, Apple's always been able to get more out of its specs than its competitors, with last year's iPhone 13 Pro Max still sitting at the top of our battery test rankings. Will the iPhone 14 Pro Max be able to beat that? Well, there's only one way to find out. This video is sponsored by Incipio, who sent out their new Aero Grip cases for the iPhone 14 series, which has a feature on it that I have never seen before in a case, in these raised wings that run across the back. Now, Incipio says that they went with this unique design to help maximize comfort and ergonomics, since the wings basically give you more surface area to hold the phone, while the ripple texture provides for better grip. And after using it, it definitely makes holding the iPhone 14 Pro Max more comfortable, especially when in landscape. Now, in addition to the wing feature though, the cases are built for MagSafe, so you're not gonna have any issues with MagSafe accessories. And of course, with the impact strut technology and the raised lips, you get 16 feet of drop protection. Incipio also sent out their Duo cases, which look pretty nice. I really like this red one. The button covers float here, so they stay nice and clicky. And as with all the mainline cases, they are made with sustainable materials. You can shop online or in store exclusively at Verizon with the links you need down below. Alright, we'll kick things off in the phone test, where each phone is going on the same 1-hour phone call, where 60 minutes into it, the Galaxy's battery drops by 6% down to 94, while the iPhone is still reporting that it has 100% battery remaining. Now, obviously, that phone call had to have taxed the iPhone's battery at least by a little, so this is likely just some over-reporting by the iPhone's percentage indicator, and after an hour of texting back and forth with our automated chatbots, the iPhone's battery finally drops, but only down to 95, while the Galaxy is already at 87%. So a really good start for the iPhone 14 Pro Max here, with it not only 8 points ahead of the Galaxy, but it's also trending 3 percentage points better than last year's iPhone, which had the best battery life on any phone we've ever tested. But we'll see if we can keep it up here in the email test, where we're not just opening up these emails, but we're also scrolling through them, where this time the Galaxy is able to hold its own, matching the iPhone's performance, with each phone dropping by an equal 5 percentage points. Here in the browser test, for the first time, we're actually putting these chipsets under a semi-heavy load, with each phone having to load up the same set of websites, where after an hour, both phones perform identically once again. I honestly wasn't expecting that. Usually the iPhone outperforms in that task, but then again, that's why we run these tests. Here in Instagram, we're not just looking at the home feed, but we're actually scrolling through it like you would in real life, where after an hour of doing so, the iPhone adds onto its lead, dropping by only 6% compared to the Galaxy's 7-point drop, meaning heading into standby, the iPhone has a 9-point advantage. Now, we opted to turn off the always-on displays for both phones during this test. We'll probably do a separate always-on display test later, let me know if you guys want to see that, but after 16 hours with their screens off, interestingly, the iPhone does worse, with it dropping by 11% compared to the Galaxy's 8-point drop. So as each phone works on YouTube, where the screens and speakers have been calibrated to the same levels, the Galaxy has a decent shot at making a comeback. But after 1 hour, no, the iPhone basically negates that standby difference, doing it 3 percentage points better this time. And if history is any indicator, the iPhone might just start running away with it here in the gaming test, where each phone is playing Alto's Adventure, where 60 minutes into it, oh man, the iPhone does significantly better, dropping by just 10 points compared to the Galaxy's massive 17-point drop. But as good as the iPhone is doing here, it is worth noting that it's no longer trending better than last year's iPhone, with it actually 4 points behind what the iPhone 13 Pro Max was at this same exact point. Although it does do better after an hour of simulated navigation, outperforming both its predecessor and the Galaxy by 2 percentage points. So as we work on Spotify, the iPhone has nearly twice as much battery remaining as the Galaxy does. And after an hour of our robots listening to music, it's now over triple the amount, with the iPhone having a healthy 29%, while the Galaxy is pretty much on its last leg with just 9% left to go. And that 9% is only good enough to last it another 16 minutes in this intensive camera/Snapchat test, meaning the iPhone wins it with 25% battery still remaining. Now, to put that 25% into proper context, based on the results we've gotten so far, that would allow the iPhone 14 Pro Max to last an additional 2 hours and 46 minutes in web browsing, or 4 hours and 10 minutes in Instagram, or a whopping 5 hours of texting back and forth. So a huge difference, and one that continues, with the iPhone starting the app cycle test with 15% battery remaining, where it was not only able to outlast the Galaxy, but after an hour and 30 minutes of opening and closing the same set of apps with still 1% remaining, it actually outlasted our camera's memory card, with us having to switch to our backup camera, where that 1% allowed the iPhone to go another 8 minutes before it finally died, putting the iPhone's total active time at an impressive 11 hours and 38 minutes compared to the Galaxy's 9 hours and 16 minutes. So while not quite as good as last year's iPhone, the 14 Pro Max still achieves the second best result we have ever gotten. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.